Hi there, Sam here. Now today I'm doing a video in regards to flexible thinking, okay, and to highlight the importance of it along the OCD recovery journey and also life in general. Okay, now we say these tools aren't just for OCD recovery because they can help in life. All right, now flexible thinking. Now, first of all, so we largely create our own emotional disturbances, our own emotional problems, or unhealthy negative feelings, okay, such as anxiety, such as guilt, such as panic, such as worthlessness, such as self-pity, such as rage, okay, those unhealthy negative emotions. Now, how do we do that? So we do that by our inflexible thinking, our rigid thinking, our black and white, our all or nothing thinking. Okay. Now, what is that rigid thinking? What do I mean by that? Now, what I mean by that is our absolutistic shoulds, our musts, our shoulds, our needs, our supposed tos, our have tos, our got tos. Okay, putting all or nothing on. I must do this, or I must do well. People ought to treat me fairly. I should not have did this. I should be good at that. Okay, now that is rigid. That is irrational thinking. So what we do with our when we're more flexible with our thinking, when we're more open-minded, we go to strong preferences. We go to desires. We erase those I must do this. People must treat me fairly. I must be considered, okay? I need this. Okay, I need people's approval. I need people's love. Okay, people must like me. Okay, I should not have done wrongly. I should be good at this. Okay, use all these examples that you can use on how they can creep into your thinking. Okay, Albert Ellis mentions it a lot into his books. How to Stop and Refuse to Make Yourself Miserable is a really good starter. The first book on the reading list, it really goes into, or sort of, because it's the first book, it introduces you to it and how it creeps into your thinking, and then you'd be very surprised if, okay, you didn't even know you were thinking like that, but you tend to realise, okay, I was, and that is very rigid, and that tends to need to change to more flexible thinking, to cut out those emotional trouble that we go through. Okay, now we change these to strong and healthy preferences, likes, wants, desires. Okay, an example: I strongly desire to achieve, but I do not need to. Okay, now just by that, and that's quite basic, that's quite simple. However, there you're just taking out the need. Okay, you're taking out the I must achieve, I must do well. Okay, you strongly like to. You're a very ambitious person. I'd love to achieve. However, I don't need to. My life doesn't depend on whether I achieve or not. Okay, it links into unconditional acceptance. So I can accept myself even without achievement, even without success. Okay, no matter how much I'd like to achieve, I never need to. Okay, and you go into some more detail. Okay, you might say that okay, I never need to achieve, but then you really underlying it might be, but I really must achieve. Okay, now why must you? All right, now where is the written rule? Is there a rule in the sky? Is there a law that when you're on this planet, when you're born, that you must achieve? Okay, you must succeed. Okay, I'm not taking out any ambition or any goals or any desires that you want. We're not taking that out. We're taking out the absolutistic rigid must that you should achieve. Okay, should do well, should be approved. Okay, need to be liked. Okay, I'd like to be liked, of course I would. I'd love to be approved by everyone that I love, of course I would. I imagine that would bring quite favourable consequences, such as more likely to get along with people. However, I don't need that to live. Okay, no matter how much I want it, I don't need it to live. I don't die without approval. I don't die if I don't achieve something. Okay, so that's that, and I'll going over our absolutistic insistent thinking that we have. Now, when we're more flexible, we use those healthy preferences, those healthy desires that come with then healthy feelings after. So the consequence of, okay, something bad might happen to you. Now, if you've got the belief that that absolutely must not happen to me, then no wonder you feel anxious, no wonder you feel depressed, no wonder you feel panic, no wonder you feel guilt. Okay, but if you change that to, okay, that's very challenging, I'd much prefer that didn't happen to me. Okay, but it has, and I can learn from it. I can look at the situation and go, how can I be happier? How can I enjoy the situation? How can I enjoy my existence, rather than constant negative, all or nothing thinking that this is terrible, this mustn't happen to me, and that's it, my life is over. Okay, so just being more flexible in your thinking is vital. Okay, now how does it link to OCD? So OCD is going to love any inflexible, any rigid thinking. It's going to love that. If you think, okay, I absolutely must not have done wrong, or I absolutely must, people must approve of me, I must not be rejected, OCD is going to latch on to that. It's going to pump away, it's going to really hold tight, hold firm on that. Okay, it's going to find something, okay, you did this, or throw this thought in, so you don't accept yourself. Okay, and then that's going to then, when you feel anxious, when you feel panic, when you feel guilt. All right, but just changing that to flexible thinking. Okay, so I prefer that not to happen to me. I strongly not want that to happen to me. But if it does, it does. Okay, it never needs to not happen to me. Okay. Okay, so the next point I'd like to make is that we take things seriously. Okay, so we're not saying you take nothing seriously, you don't really care about anything. We're not saying that at all. Of course, you take things seriously. It could be a project, it could be a job, could be a goal, something that you aim for, you take it seriously. But it's not the end of the world completely too seriously, where if you didn't achieve, that's it, your life is over. That is where you've got to be more flexible with your thinking. Okay, not all or nothing. You see where, okay, this is important to me, so I need to achieve, I must achieve, I absolutely must get what I want, and if I don't, it would be terrible. Okay, I'd love to get what I want, but if I don't, then I can adapt to it. I can. It might be unfortunate, it might not be very pleasant, the consequences, but I can still enjoy myself, find other pursuits of happiness. I don't have to consistently achieve this to be happy. Okay, you can be passionate, determined, driven to get something that you want, to achieve something, to fulfill an ambition. However, just not relying on that achievement, not measuring you by that success. Okay, you can, and this is where, if you do make mistakes, as a fallible human that you are, as an imperfect human that you are, so you learn from those mistakes. Okay, so if with that flexible thinking of, okay, I didn't do well there, or I made a mistake there, I made an error there, how can I learn from that? Not writing yourself off. Not saying, okay, I made that mistake, so that makes me totally bad, that makes me totally incompetent. Okay? Now, you acknowledge what is important as well, but it's not life-defining. I'm not saying nothing's important, nothing matters, not at all. Okay? It's just not the total end of the world, where if you didn't get this, that's it. The world would fall apart. Your life would collapse. No. Okay, that is when you get into the emotional trouble, go into the emotional consequences of guilt, anxiety, depression, panic. Okay, very sad if you didn't get what you want, but not the total end of the world. Okay, and another point I'd like to make is, as you're more flexible with the thinking, you then become more comfortable with living with uncertainty or with imperfection. Okay, life is uncertain. You're a fallible, imperfect human being who's likely to make errors and mistakes. Okay, now when you're more flexible, you're more like you're going to adapt to that. Okay, like I've just said, if you make a mistake, you learn from it. You don't completely write yourself off and then just dwell on that mistake. Oh my god, I've done wrong, that means I'm a totally wrong person. Oh my god, I didn't achieve, that means I can never achieve. Okay, and that brings me on to my next point of overgeneralization. Okay, so just because you did wrong there, that means you can forever do wrong. Okay, you can never then do right. All right, does that make sense? So same with other people as well. So just because one person in a group may have acted badly, acted immorally, did something that you see as a stupid act, you're not saying the whole group of people or that person is totally stupid. Okay, you're not generalizing at all just because of one act or just because of one thing or just because of one trait, one attribute. You're not generalizing the whole group because of one thing. All right, now easily done. I was very rigid in my thinking when I first came to therapy. I was very, very rigid, stuck in my ways, stuck in my black and white thinking. This is what I know, so this is I'm going to believe this. And I wasn't very open-minded at all. I wasn't wasn't very flexible to change. Wasn't very open to change. Just wanted to say, no, this is how I am. I'm not going to even look at any other approach to recovery, approach to life. No. Okay, now the best thing, I use it every day, flexible thinking, being open-minded, and just trying to look at other people's perspectives, why they might think that, why they might do that. Okay, and that is absolutely crucial. Listening to new ideas, sitting back and listen. Okay, being flexible. All right, not totally saying, no, I need to get my point across, I'm right, you're wrong. No, it's black and white thinking, that's all or nothing thinking. All right, so that's a video on flexible thinking. I hope that's okay. Hope that all makes sense. Please leave a like if you like the video. Please leave a comment if you've got any questions, any suggestions for the video you'd like me to do or anyone on this channel would like to do. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.